Hi everyone, we are going to be doing a reading today and seeing what is coming through for you. I hope this reading really helps you and we are going to take a look. So I just wanted to mention before I start that if you wanted to win a free reading with me, check out the description box below since I do giveaways every single month. If you wanted to purchase any personal services, they are always listed down below and also on my website, shopmoonlightguidance.com. There's personal tarot readings, rituals to manifest different areas of your life, black magic energy removal, healing work prayers, and so much more. And there's also the intention items which thousands of people have seen results with, so it's all linked down below. But there's bracelets, necklaces, anklets, pom-poms, tassels, embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, wallet, or purse, sage bundles. There's candles as well which are handmade, safety tested, they are plant-based and they are really special. This is the new black magic removal candle. So yeah, there's it smells so nice. So yeah, it's all there and you can check it out if you wish. Okay, so let's start with your reading and see what is coming through and what I can share with you. All right, let's begin. Ooh, 10 of Wands. All right, now if you are romantically involved with someone, I think this is really important for me to mention to you actually. Don't be scared of this message, okay? Don't be scared. Remember, fear also attracts fear, so try not to be as, scared and things like that. But for sure, what I'm seeing here is that someone that you can be very close to might not communicate with you so much over the next 2 days, okay? So they may not talk to you very much. They may not say anything. They might be a lot more in their own energy, spending more time within themselves. That's not anything that you should be worrying about because they're just reflecting on their life. They're reflecting on how far they've come. They're reflecting on things that they need to do. They're reflecting on further growth and development that they want to do, which again is super positive. But you might get really scared thinking, oh, but Moonlight, they're not really talking to me. They're not really saying anything. Do I need to run and chase after them and call them out? No. Let them be, okay? It's a matter of roughly 48 hours. 48 hours, okay? Where's the card gone? Here it is. It's the Two of Swords, okay? They can keep to themselves for this much time. Try not to panic, okay? Try not to panic. Something is happening, I feel, astrologically that is triggering them to kind of be a lot more, let's say, in their own energy, in their own head. They're reflecting a lot, they're thinking a lot, they're thinking about their personal growth, they're thinking about spirituality, they're really thinking about where they are in their life and what more they want to do. They can also think about things between the two of you, and this is the most important thing, is try not to pressurize them too much over the next 48 hours, because any kind of pressure that you put onto them can really just make them feel like things are too much. So what you actually want to do is let them reflect, let them think about things, let them think about the things that they are doing. Try not to pressurize them too much because that can just make them completely close off, okay? But they do want to kind of stay in their own energy, and that's exactly what we have here. And in some of the other cards as well. So you can take a look at those cards there. They want to stay in their own energy. They want to kind of just do whatever they want to do. So it's best you let them do what they want to do. And then here as well, they're really just reflecting on their life. It's something that they need, and actually after that they will come to you a little bit more. They will come to you with more communication, they will come to you with more openness, because this reflection allows them to actually, it's a bit like, and I mentioned this analogy a lot, but it's like the bow and the arrow, right? The arrow has to get pulled back in order for it to go further in terms of distance. If it kind of just gets pulled back, it doesn't go so far, right? But the further it gets pulled back, the further it travels forward, which is good, because even though they may not be communicating with you so much over the next 48 hours, it's really allowing, right, that time where they don't communicate with you is the arrow going backwards. And that can scare you. But then it goes forwards and they do a lot more towards you. They progress a lot more towards you. They talk to you a lot more. They move things along with you a lot more. They're more social with you. And for any of you who are in a third party situation, this just really triggers them. It triggers them to realize what they want with that situation and what they don't. But the more you pressure them over the next 48 hours, the more they will just get stressed and overwhelmed. Now, when I say 48 hours, I'm talking from when you're watching this video, not from when it was posted, but from when you're watching it. Okay, so that's really important in terms of the spiritual timeframes and timelines, because this is a timeless reading, but it's from when you watch it. Okay, and then also we've got here the Six of Cups. This is important because actually this time that they spend reflecting within themselves is time in which they think about what they want to do and how they want to progress things forward with you. So try not to put pressure really on anyone, actually, I would say, in the next 48 hours, because even in regards to work and career, you could find some really lovely abundances come your way in the future based on the next 48 hours. So continue to work hard, continue to, show that you're working hard and doing, the right thing. And these people will naturally come to you and progress towards you, which is ultimately what you want, right? Like that's what you want. You want them to progress towards you. You want them to give you opportunities, but without pressuring them, okay? It's just, I feel like astrologically there's something in the air that's kind of creating that to happen. Oh, sorry. Ow. The bracelet is on so tight that it just kind of latched around my skin. Okay, so we've got here the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. Yeah, it definitely, triggers them to do a lot more towards you. The more you kind of let them do what they want to do. See, people learn by themselves a lot of the times as well. Like if you try to tell the child, oh, do not jump in that puddle, and they want to jump in that puddle, they're going to think that you're nagging them. And then, but in your heart, you're doing it so that they don't get their clothes wet, or they don't catch a cold, or they don't, fall over. But for them, they feel like you might be ruining something that they want to do, something that makes them happy. But then eventually, the child might learn by themselves. They might jump in that puddle and catch a cold, and then the child will realize, oh my gosh, that person was telling me not to jump in a puddle, for my own benefit. That's the thing with people, okay? People as well, not just children, but people as well. They learn themselves. A lot of people learn themselves. Very few people. I think the thing here is that you're empathic, right? If somebody tells you something, you will take it on board, you will understand it, you will digest it. You're not always going to do what somebody tells you, right? But you will try and do something in the best way that suits your energy, in terms of what you feel is right. And you will always take on board constructive feedback and things like that. The thing with this person is that they honestly just learn by themselves, because when people tell them what to do, they just get too stressed, they get too overwhelmed, they can't handle that energy basically. And so the more you tell this person what to do, the more resistant they become, and they realize and recognize their mistakes when they make those mistakes themselves, and then they find solutions to those mistakes themselves as well. Okay, so pressuring people in the next 48 hours is a no, especially a person romantically, okay, because that can just really make things go more backwards than you need it to be. And the main thing here is that they tend to realize and recognize that you are the right person for them on their own, without you even having to tell them, like, I am the one. Because screaming it from the rooftops is not going to make it, register any faster. It's not. They seem to register it faster when they realize through their own lessons and own challenges, like, oh my God, you are the one, through things that they experience in their day-to-day life. That's how they recognize it. So try not to force things. That's the biggest thing, okay? Try not to force things, even in regards to work. If you want a raise, it's best not to force it in the next 48 hours, or to necessarily bring it up in the next 48 hours unless they bring it up, because the energies in the next 48 hours don't respond well to forcing things. Really doesn't. If, for example, I'm just giving you an example. If, for example, you notice I'm not saying that this is exactly what's going to happen for you, but, you notice, I don't know, a socket or something, and you try and put a plug in it and it just isn't going in, and you're just like trying to jam it in or something, leave it be, okay? Nothing. Try not to force anything in the next 48 hours, because you might make the problem worse. That's all. After the next 48 hours, things will be okay, from what I'm seeing. But just try not to force things, because they could go more backwards. You could regret things. If an application is not submitting online, for example, try not to force the application, to that point. the only reason being is because maybe only half of it gets submitted, you know, or it doesn't submit properly and then you think it's submitted, you know, stuff like that. Unless obviously it's an emergency, you have to submit it on that time. But just be aware that there are some energies that do not work well with forcing things over the next 48 hours. And I really, really just had to mention that to you for sure. So that's just one of the most important things that I can tell you here. Otherwise, things will go backwards, okay? The main warning here is if you really force things over the next 48 hours, things can go backwards. And I feel like that's like the last thing, the last thing that many of you want is something going backwards. You know, you just don't want anything going backwards. But this is your reading, okay? So your affirmation for this reading is I won't force anything. Comment it down below, and especially if this resonates with you or if you claim this reading, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, check out the description box below for information on personal services, free reading giveaway, intention items, all that good stuff. Now I will see you all very soon.